Hello, welcome to Tarot to a T. Today's reading is going to be for August 2023 for the sign of Virgo, because Virgo, you got ripped off last month by me, you and a few other signs, because I could not fit you in, and I sincerely apologize for that. Anyone who was waiting for the readings to come out. Anyway, welcome to my channel if this is the first time, and if you're returning, I am going to start using two decks, so I'm having a little bit of trouble here shuffling because I have to have bigger hands, and I unfortunately can't arrange for bigger hands, right? So we're going to try to cut the decks this way. I was meditating on my readings, and it kind of came to me that using two decks might be more helpful because you will get more information. Especially if two of the same card come out, for example, I feel like it'll give me a little clearer of a signal, something to highlight, something to draw my attention to, and therefore serve you better by providing more depth and more information. Still going to keep the readings down to about 20-25 minutes, but I feel like I can get more punch in those 20-25 minutes. Now some of these cards I have used before, but they're still slick, so they are sliding around a bit. So I apologize for not appearing graceful. Okay. Again, this is for the sign of Virgo. We're going to do our general inquiry. Wish me luck. Yeah. Kind of worked, kind of didn't. It's just very hard to do that with two decks. Very hard. Very challenging. General inquiry for Virgo. What divine message needs to come out for Virgo for the month of August 2023? Whoa. Okay. Divine message for Virgo. Divine message. The universe has something coming through for sure. Still going to keep my format the same. For those of you who've been with me before, the format is not going to change, at least for now. Okay? Alright. Let's get started. Let's see what's going on with you. So you got the colorized Joker, the Magician card, you have the Queen of Hearts, you have the Two of Clubs, and you have the Four of Hearts. There's some communication that needs to happen with possibly a support around you, like a family unit, or if it's just a couple, like you're in a relationship with somebody, not necessarily children. But things are up in the air around some kind of issue. And the Two Clubs just talk about needing to restore some kind of balance and harmony. Again, this is the need for communication. You could be dealing with a water sign, Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. Somebody who's kind of that motherly figure. This is what the Queen of Hearts represents. It also represents self-nurturing. So if you're not involved with a water sign, although I'm being pulled in the direction of no, you are involved with the water sign, or at least somebody who's in this position of being kind of the mother figure. Maybe they take care of you, maybe they take care of the family in that way. They're a natural at it, right? But there's all this support and love and care and nurturing around your home with the Four of Hearts. Now, again, something is up in the air. And it feels like you need something to transform, hence the Magician energy. Perhaps you've been quietly, if you pray, certainly prayer is in there, but meditation as well, pleading your case to the universe, again to the divine forces, to transform something in some way, hence the Magician energy. Or perhaps you're trying to institute some kind of change. Therefore, that's, again, communication seems to be key here. You also have the King of Clubs, the Jack of Clubs. Seven of Hearts and the Eight of Spades. There's something around work, perhaps, that's tearing the family apart. That's what I'm hearing. Now, you have fire signs here. The King of Clubs is a fire sign. Leo, Sagittarius, Aries. You also have the Jack of Clubs. Jack of Clubs would be a little bit somebody who's younger. Perhaps there is a family unit. I'm speaking to a Virgo who has a family involved. This would be like the child or the younger person. They don't have to be like a teenager or a toddler. They could be a kid living at home, is going to college, or maybe in this day and age I hear about young people having to live with their parents into their 20s because it's hard to rent an apartment, let alone buy your own house. That's just not very easy these days unless you hit the jackpot or you worked really hard when you were young, like a teenager, and you made all this money. It's just hard to get out of the house. It's hard to get out from under your parents. Anyway, I just went off on a tangent. That's not what the reading's about. These two clubs energies, they're very kind and generous. That's the energy around fire signs. The King of Clubs is also somebody you could look at as a support or somebody who can offer guidance in some way. You could have water in your chart, and this could be you. And this, we're not looking at genders, but we're looking at people in different power positions. Queen of Hearts definitely has some kind of power position, and also the King of Clubs in their own right. I'm going to ask from our card. Oh, I forgot to address. And there's some kind of disappointment here. Again, this usually deals with a person. It could deal with a job situation because you have the Eight of Spades. It tells me somebody's working too many hours. They're being asked to do too much. There's some kind of pressure that needs to be relieved around it. It's a call to action that the Eight of Spades is. So let's go ahead and draw those cards. And it could all have to do with something that's affecting the family. I think I started to say that in the beginning. And there's some kind of communication that needs to happen around it. Like maybe it's not you that's in the work position, maybe it's the other person, or vice versa. Anyway, it needs to be brought out into the open. I'm getting that it's someone's working too hard and putting in too many hours, and it's stressing out the family. There's some structure that's being threatened by it. Oh, okay. The Eight of Hearts. Eight of Diamonds, sorry. This is the entrepreneurial card. Somebody could be running their own business. Yeah, that would actually make sense. So somebody is putting a lot of time and effort and long hours into a solo effort. If it's not somebody just like on their own online, a lot of people do things from home on the computer these days. This could be somebody who's in a brick and mortar business. Maybe your spouse decided to open up a restaurant, or maybe you decided to open up a laundromat. It doesn't have to be digital, online. I can't think of the word. What am I trying to say? Like startups. There's a word for it. It's just escaping me. Anyway, this is about hard work paying off and this entrepreneurial pursuit. So this could be wrapped up. Like, I'm getting the sense that the effort being put in is perhaps paying off, but it's stressing out the family. There's a lot of disappointment and heartbreak here. Like, somebody's not coming home at night to, like, enjoy dinner with the family. You know what I mean? There's some pain wrapped up in it, even though it's financially maybe paying off. And this transformation and this thing about the Magician card, it's like something has to change to... Almost a miracle has to happen to balance all of this so that you don't have the situation where somebody's, I'm not quite getting the crux of the matter here. That's why I keep stumbling on my words. But you want something to transform in this situation, and you are like, you're asking the universe to step in and work its magic. You also got the Jack of Spades. Now, this could be air sign energy. I'm not picking up this as a person, though. but I'll just throw it out there. It's Libra, Libra, Aquarius, or Gemini. It's also the energy of not trusting a situation. That's kind of a twist. It's almost like, so the person maybe who's not at home as much, maybe you don't trust them. I haven't seen any cards of infidelity come out here, but that's what's coming to mind. Like, you're not trusting where they're spending their time. You're not trusting where it's going to lead, and this just popped out. Again, you have the black and white Joker. You don't know where things are headed, and yeah, things are very unsettled for you. The Fool energy is wrapped up in this. So the Fool card is about not knowing what lies ahead. It's also the card of new starts, so maybe this is all like a brand new situation for you. But the Fool card doesn't know, again, where things are headed. And it could, in this case, I don't always read it this way, but in this case it'd be causing anxiety because you don't know what's next. You don't know what's coming next. You don't know. With the Jack of Spades, that's also anxiety, right? Because not trusting the situation. It's like this is wrapped up together. The Full energy in the Jack of Spades. It's like you don't know where this is headed. You don't know. Because things are so unsettled, you're feeling anxious about things. You don't like that. You could be like, it doesn't jibe with your personality to have things so up in the air. And I know, I can relate to you, Virgo. I was in a relationship with someone just like that who I'm not going to tell you any details, but some things have been going on for a while, but also lately where I had to walk away from it because there's too much chaos. There's too much noise and chaos is the way I've put it. Like I just want things to be more peaceful, and I don't need the extra stress of somebody always being in this state of chaos. You know know what I'm getting at. Anyway, if that's what's going on with you, it's like the unsettled energy around this. I'm really, really, really relating to that. And I feel like that may be true for you too. That you're just not digging this unsettledness. You need more stability. Could be in there, but it's more than stability. You just need more things to be more predictable. You need you need to know where you're going. The Fool card, right? You need to know where you're headed. You need to know where this is all going to lead you and possibly this family unit or relationship, whatever it is. You need to know where it's headed. Because you also have the Six of Diamonds here that popped out while I was talking. So things are looking very good financially. Again, I feel like with the Eight of Diamonds, someone's putting a lot of hard work into something, and it's truly an individual solo effort in some sense that they have ownership in the business, and they're really reaping the rewards, and it's really helping out financially. And again, more options and opportunities. There's a lot of growth mixed up with the Six of Diamonds. There's potential, right? Taking great financial responsibility. That doesn't seem to be an issue at all. It's all wrapped up into this. Some heartache and pain and needing to relieve pressure and stress. Too many cards. I am adjusting to so many cards in my hand too, so hopefully I'll get more practice. And you are the first one I'm doing for August, so here we go, the test run, the guinea pig. Anyway, the Queen of Diamonds. Yes, again, a very strong Pentacle card. Your finances, your abundance are looking fantastic. This could also be you. This is Earth energy, Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn. Queen of Diamonds has very good business sense. They're very good at balancing budgets and spending wisely and watching where money goes. So again, I don't see any problems with that. I'm going to go ahead and ask for cards of advice because I feel like it's going to keep emphasizing finances are looking fantastic. There's just other areas that you're needing a change. Needing the Magician energy to come in and transform this so that you have balance. And I don't think it's something you've discussed. I know I'm going back here a little bit, but this is what we're looking at our advice, okay? Queen of Clubs. You have more clubs energy coming out. Interesting. You have the Three of Clubs. You have the Seven of Spades. Okay. And you have the King of Clubs again. Okay. Yeah, so King Clubs showed up for us twice here. And the Queen of Clubs, the first instinct, I just want to talk about her first. And no, we're not looking at gender, so sorry for referring to her as her. It could be anybody. This is somebody in their power, and they have just as much power and authority. They're just not as dominant as a king, and their approach is a little different. It's more subtle, it's softer, right? Still a lot of power and guidance and wisdom wrapped up with the Queen of Clubs. This could be somebody that you could go to for advice. For example, you have a lot of fire energy, so you might have a lot of fire signs around you. You could have this in your chart. In any case, I feel like it's interesting because she represents that as well as the King of Clubs, like I mentioned earlier, and you have them both in your advice. The first thing I thought with that Queen of Clubs is this is how you're feeling. I don't know why. Like you're in the Queen position, and the King position to me is about somebody getting greater control in some way. Because there's also this this struggle and fight here. I feel like you are struggling and fighting with this person in your family situation who is in this stressful work situation, and I am going to flip it. If it's you that's overworking and you're the one bringing the strife into the family, and it needs to come out into the open, that you recognize that it's causing problems, you can expect there to be this. The threes also talk about being pulled in a couple of different directions, so you're going to have people with varying opinions and ideas about how this should be resolved, for example. So there is going to be a little bit of struggle in resolving it, but I don't think it's a bad thing to bring it out in the open with the Two of Clubs and you needing that communication. The Seven of Spades is interesting because I think in the course of discussing, having this open discussion, because I feel like things just need to be brought out in the open, right? Something's going to be revealed. This is about hidden information. Perhaps it's about how the other person feels or other people feel in the family. Perhaps it's about something that occurs to you you'd never thought of before, hence a epiphany of sorts. So in stirring up the pot here, something's going to come out that again was previously unknown and not realized. And because I originally thought that King of Clubs over here was your spouse, it could be around them. Hence, that's why the King of Clubs has appeared here again. It could be them revealing something. Again, I'm not getting a clear picture of who is the person who's got to relieve this work situation. Maybe you're both involved in the work situation. I don't know. I feel like it pivots around this person, though. And I feel like you're the one who takes care of the home matters, the heart matters. And that doesn't mean you sit at home and just bake cookies and wash clothes like a housewife. I'm not implying that. It's just that you're more concerned with the emotional health and the nurture that needs to occur. And you probably provide that. This person, again, has a very good character about them. They don't mean to neglect, in other words. I'm going to ask for more cards of advice. Let's go ahead and ask for more. Okay, we'll do that. Two of Spades. This is usually about something between two people not being resolved and there being some kind of split, like two friends that no longer talk to each other. It can mean like any type of relationship, and I don't think it's romantic. I don't think this is divorce. I just think that there's something that you're not going to see eye to eye about. Yeah, the thing that's going to be revealed that's not obvious or not at the surface at the moment. It's not something you're going to be able to resolve. In other words, there's going to be an element of the situation you're not going to be on the same page about. That doesn't mean it's a fruitless situation though, and that there's no use in talking about it because you can't resolve it. That's not it at all. It still, I think, needs to come out. What else can you give us for advice? The Five of Spades. Five of Spades. I am reading these cards totally wrong, and I don't know why. The Five of Hearts. You can see that, right? It's the Five of Hearts. Yes. Yep. And I saw that too. For some reason, my brain thought Five of Spades. But this is along kind of the same ways. This is... So this is separation. Doesn't mean divorce. Because I was just talking about divorce. Good grief. I don't know. This Two of Spades energy could also mean that the work situation, somebody has to... In other words, we're looking at advice. The solution could be there's nothing to resolve in the work situation except separation. And this is physical separation. So let's say the person works at home. Maybe they need to rent out office space. They need to get it out of the home environment, you see. That's a very likely scenario. I know so many people these days, especially since the pandemic, they started working remotely. And they have never gone back to the office because, companies and agencies and whatnot decided that was just fine and in some ways cheaper because they don't have to have all this office space and pay for toilet paper and air conditioning and coffee. Just let everybody sit at home and they can use their own utilities. When you look at it, it's cutting costs in a roundabout way. But I think most people that work from home are fine doing that. But in this situation, I think it's affecting the home life. It's causing this stress. So separation might be your answer because there's no solving it any other way. Do you see that connection? I hope I'm being clear. Queen of Spades. Again, we have this air energy. We have the Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini. Now, the Queen of Spades is someone who is kind of in hermit mode. I often see this as the Virgo card because in traditional tarot, Virgo is associated with the hermit mode. It's someone who doesn't say a whole lot. They're reserved. They're holding back in some way. They observe. People around them may not trust where they're coming from. I'm picking up because originally that card of the Two of Clubs, communication needs to happen, that this may be emphasizing that you have been, how do I say this? You are in hermit mode and you haven't said anything. And that's kind of part of the problem. The other part of the problem is the work needs to leave the home space. You need to have separation and boundaries. But also you being in this mode of not saying anything has not helped the situation. I'm going to ask for another card of advice. I'm not really feeling like we are done here. Okay, King of Hearts. Well, that's very nice. This is taking control of the situation. So we saw the Queen of Hearts earlier, but the King of Hearts. Wow, Virgo, you could step into the King of Hearts energy by opening this communication. That is what I'm getting. That's going to help resolve this. Okay, the King of Hearts is very much like the Queen of Hearts in that it's loving and kind energy, but also takes care of others. Very nurturing. It's that father figure, okay, but still very strong. And the Queen of Hearts is just as strong. It's just in the king position. There's a little bit more power implied with that. Again, it's not gender roles that we're looking at. We're not looking at male, female. I see that you just need to take better control here emotionally, in the sense that you come out of hermit mode, okay, and allow this separation to happen. That you just have to know that you're not going to see eye to eye in this situation, and the only solution here is some kind of separation. But again, I am not reading divorce and you need to walk away from this person. It's just like, I feel like it's the work that needs to leave the home. The work needs to be, that's where the boundary needs to be drawn. Yeah, and it's going to be a little bit of a struggle here to get to that point. Probably internally, not just with the other person, but internally you're going to have this internal struggle. But you're going to come to this realization, or something's going to come out. And it all pivots around this King of Clubs. So if you're involved with a fire sign, leave a comment about that. I'll be curious to know how many Virgos are involved with those fire signs. Because I feel like this is the person you're looking at. They just may have like a fire sign moon, even if their sun sign is not Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries. They may have very strong fire in some other aspect. I'm going to wrap it up there. I think I kind of summarized what I'm feeling here, that you need to come out of that hermit mode and the communication needs to happen. And the possible solution is to move the home office out of the home, in whatever form that takes. Renting office space, or going back to some kind of brick and mortar situation, right? Okay, I hope this helped. I hope you got some guidance from it. I apologize for not getting to you in July. That's why I did you first for August. And I appreciate you being here. Please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you haven't. Turn off those notifications if you don't want to see those come up after subscribing. That's fine. But subscribing and those likes really help, not just me, but anybody who creates on YouTube in so many ways. Hey Virgo, I ran out of battery, so I just wanted to come back and say thank you for being here. Thank you for your patience in July. And good luck with everything. I will see you soon. Take care.